Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing something that I've never done before. I mean, that's a little bit of a lie. I've tried it once before and it was not successful, so I'm not going to count that one time. But today I'm going to try to do a celebrity transformation. Now, I'm going to try. Keyword is try. So this might not be an actual celebrity transformation. This just might be more of a cosplay makeup where I'll show you how to make you look a little bit more like the actress, but not necessarily a full-on transformation. I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to try it. So that's going to be the challenge today. But I don't guarantee that's going to happen. I'm going to at least try to make myself look a little bit more like Emilia Clarke. Oh yeah, because I hadn't mentioned it before right now. This is going to be a Daenerys transformation, all in honor of the last episode of Game of Thrones, which will be airing today. Now, I gotta say, I'm not the biggest Game of Thrones fan. And by that I mean I don't watch it and I don't like it. But as some of you may know, I have cosplayed as Daenerys in the past. When I lived in Ireland, I cosplayed as Daenerys, and my boyfriend at the time cosplayed as Khal Drogo. So yeah, why don't I like Game of Thrones? Hear me out. I've watched 4 seasons. Like, I gave it a solid shot. I watched 4 whole entire seasons. But I don't like politics. I love fantasy. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite stories of all time. I hate politics. And Game of Thrones, in my vision, isn't fantasy. It's politics with a fantasy filter. If it was a story about the dragons, about magic, I would love it. But it's not. It's a story about one family trying to backstab another family to get control over the throne, and that's not fantasy. That's just not. So anyway, little mini rant over. Despite me not liking the story, I do really appreciate the work that goes into the show. The costume design is amazing. The makeup, the hair, everything. I love the visual part of the show. Just not a huge fan of the story. And I also used to love Daenerys in the first few seasons, but then she became intolerable. I don't know how she's gotten in the later seasons because I didn't watch past the 4th season, so I really don't know. But anyway, by the 4th season, she was unbearable. Okay, so that being said, as you can tell, I've already gone and done my skin. I just did some concealer, foundation, and powder. I made sure to really mattify my face because I'm going to be working with different powders to try to change my facial features. I think the powder I used was a little bit too dark, so don't at me, okay? But I'm just going to jump right into it. And for this look, I'm going to be mainly using my Lunatic Cosmetics Contour Palette Volume 1. It's got the perfect contour and highlight shades. This yellowish highlighter is amazing to make features stand out, and these contour shades are the best. I might mix in a few of these too. So yeah, I'm just going to use this bad boy and I'm going to try to change my face up. Hope this works. If it doesn't, I'm probably not going to post this video. So, yeah. So first things first, she and I have completely different face shapes. I have a really long oval face. She has more of a heart-shaped face. I'm going to be bringing the wig further down so that I can reduce the size of my forehead. So that's going to be taken care of by the wig. But I'm going to try to reduce the size of my chin a little bit. So I'm going to go in with this shade here. And I just want to create like a little dent. I'm going to go really dark with this color. This is the type of makeup that is going to look crazy in person, but I just want it for photos and videos, so it'll be fine. I'm also going to reduce the actual size of my chin too. That's why I'm using a smaller brush so that I can pack on the product and really be precise with my application. I'm just blending it under my chin. So that's done the job of reducing my chin a little bit. And I might come back to this later, but for now, that's decent. And then I'm also gonna shade around this new line that I made because I want the edge to look more realistic. I want this to have kind of volume. So I'm blending out that harsh edge a little bit. And then that brings me to around the mouth. She's got a very kind of pronounced shadow on the corners of her mouth. Now, all I'm doing is I'm referencing a picture of her and trying to mimic the shadows that are on her face onto my face, and hopefully that'll create the illusion that I need. I'm really gonna have to overdraw my upper lip, so I'm just shading around that area. Right now it looks like I'm giving myself a little mustache. That's fine. It'll all make sense in the end, I hope. I'm also going to do under my bottom lip. Going in with a flat brush because I want to really create a line right here because she has a very defined little chin and she has a really deep shadow under her bottom lip. Kind of want to bring this down and around to really make the chin more pronounced. You don't really need much, just subtle shadows are enough. She also has really defined nasolabial folds, so I just want to intensify that a little bit. I don't want to make myself look old. This little mustache thing is really bothering me. I probably should have left that till the end, but it's already done. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the bridge of the nose. And I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I kind of just want to get my general shapes down and then work from there. For me, it's easier that way. She really has it really deep and contoured right here, and then goes really deep right above her crease, which is interesting. She's got her crease and then it goes deeper. And I know that I look literally nothing like Emilia Clarke, but we're gonna try. We are gonna try. Emilia also has that like really round under eye area, so I'm just going to contour this to make mine seem rounder and puffier. I've zoomed you in a little bit, so hopefully you can see it better. I'm also going to shade my Cupid's bow. I think I have to make mine wider. Her Cupid's bow is pretty wide. I'm going to have to give myself an entirely new Cupid's bow when I overline my lips. And I'm using the little tiny pencil brush to shade around the mouth. So I think I'm going to do the lips, and that's going to help me kind of figure out the bottom half of the face, and then I'm going to continue shading. So I'm going to go in with the NYX Slide On Glide On pencil in the color Nude Suede Shoes. Hopefully this is a good color. Probably going to have to go in with a darker one as well. This isn't quite dark enough. I'm going to try to go in with the color Need Me. It is quite a bit darker. I'm going to take a little pencil brush just to blend those two together. Although I think it's set, it doesn't really blend that well. Okay, so that's a lot better. I also use the darker liner just over my natural Cupid's bow to hide it because it obviously stands out because the light hits it, and so I'm just taking it over the contour of my lips to darken the contour, and that way it gets hidden and all you see is the new contour. Pretty sure I have to extend the outer corners a little bit. She's got a really wide mouth too. Wish I had these luscious lips. And her bottom lip isn't that big. Her upper lip is definitely bigger than her bottom lip. And I did this line leaving a gap between the outline and this line because it just creates kind of like an edge to the lip. So now I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting, and I'm going to take this yellowish powder. I'm going to create a new edge to my lips. She has a very pronounced edge. Then I'm also going to use that to widen my Cupid's bow. See, now that little mustache shading makes sense. It goes around the edge of the lip. I'm also doing it on the bottom lip. And I'm taking that and also highlighting this area. She has this kind of pronounced. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and use that to blend it out. I'm going to highlight the very top of my chin as well. She has kind of, I don't want to say jowls, but kind of like jowls. And so that's what I'm trying to create here. Highlighting this bottom area because I do want to widen this part of my face. What I also have to do is highlight around the little shading on the edge of the mouth. Doing this kind of makeup is so weird. I don't know, you have to have a whole different kind of skill set to do it. I've always been scared of doing these transformations because even though I know how to paint, it just requires you to have a different skill set and eyes. You have to have like the eye for this type of stuff. I don't know that I have it. So this is kind of scary, but I like doing stuff out of my comfort zone. I think it was actually good that I went a little bit dark with my foundation because then that gives me a nice mid-tone and then I can just highlight the ever-living shit out of my face. She's got a very, very kind of flat cheek, so I'm going to try to mimic that to widen my face as much as possible. If you want to widen your face, you need to highlight the outside. I'm also going to highlight over here to try to widen my face, as I said. You can always accentuate shadows by just adding more highlight instead of deepening the shadow. So I'm just trying to find the right balance between shadow and highlight and just working my way slowly. So I'm also bringing the highlight where I would start my contour. I'm going to be doing the cheekbone contour further down from my cheekbone contour. This will help to widen the face a bit more. She's got quite a wide face, especially when compared to mine, which is super long. I know it's still looking crazy, but listen, it's a process. Trust the process. I think I'm going to start on the nose, and I'm going to highlight to make my nose seem a little wider. So I'm going to highlight where I typically contour the sides of the tip of my nose. She's got a little kind of triangular shaped nose. It's a very cute little nose, but from the front it's kind of like a triangle. And then I want to widen my bridge a little bit, and I'm going to do that with highlight. So I want to contour the very tip of the nose. Her cartilage is quite pronounced. Then I'm going to highlight right next to the nostril. It's going to change the shape of the nose up a little bit. Then I'm just going to take that powder and highlight the sides of my forehead again to make my face seem a little wider, just close to the eyebrows. Actually taking it on the eyebrows since I haven't done my brows yet. I'm just gonna keep packing that powder on. And these powders are quite pigmented, but you do have to build them up to get the intensity that I'm looking for. I'm applying a little bit all over just so I can kind of even out my skin tone. I don't want my forehead to be so much darker than the rest of the face because I've got all these highlights going on. And I'm going to do the same on the cheeks. Just doing a light wash, packing it more on the areas that need more intensity. I'm actually going to take the powder on a smaller brush so I can really concentrate it around the brow area, under the brow too, on the brow bone. I feel like the area around the lips needs more highlighting, kind of blending that highlight outwards. Doing the different parts of the face all at once, just kind of working on everything and bouncing here and there, kind of helps me to see how I need to change certain areas. So I'm just using a flat, fluffy brush to kind of be more precise with my application. And I'm using pretty small brushes because of that reason. I want to be really precise with where I apply everything. It's funny, she's got these outer corners really, really deep, really defined. I'm blending it onto the lips. Okay, now I think I'm going to go back to the eyes. And now I'm going to use, I'm going to try this guy out. It's slightly warmer, but around the eyes there's just a different color because of the natural darkness of the eyes. Concentrating the shade in the center to really make the eyes rounder. And then I'm also going to deepen the shadow right here. And deepen that line right here, right above the crease. I think it's starting to get there. Kinda. Listen, please be gentle. I've never done a celebrity transformation before. It's really hard. I'm also going to take that on my outer corner, blend that out. I'm also going to darken kind of the inner portion of my lid. I think the bottom lip is what's throwing me off. I've pulled up another reference photo. Usually it's good to work off of just one and try to replicate that as best as possible. But I felt like I needed it to see her in like different lighting, different angle. So I'm just gonna deepen this a little bit. Eye bag area, just a touch. And then adding more highlight where I would normally contour. And then I'm going to contour way lower than my usual contour. She does have really good cheekbones. I'm kind of blending that contour when it reaches the center of the cheek. I think the eyebrows will really help. I'm gonna do that next. Eyebrows tend to really help to frame a face. In this situation, you really need that. And because of the contour, now I'm adding just a little bit more highlight to really make that contour pop. So before I do the eyebrows, I'm going to make sure that this area around it is really well highlighted. I'm even going to go in with the white from the palette to get it really light. Now for the brows, I'm going to go in with the NYX Tame and Frame with a drop of the Danessa Myricks Color Fix Magic Set and Seal just to make it a little bit more liquid. That way I can get a finer line with it. And the brush I'm using is the Essence Liner Brush. Oh, and the color I'm using is black. It just matches my eyebrows, and hers are really dark anyway. This isn't actually black. It's like a dark, cool tone brown. To get her brows right, they're pretty straight. They're also very fluffy. So I'm just drawing little hair-like strokes. They're especially fluffy at the very start. They're much thicker than mine. But from what I compared, so what I did before I started is I took a picture of Emilia and took one of my face and superimposed them in Photoshop to the same scale. So I made our eyes the same size, and then I tried to see everything else in comparison, what it was like. And so her eyebrows are actually further up than mine, but we're gonna have to make do. But to cheat that, I'm going to thicken them upwards. Her eyebrows are quite long too. I don't want to go too crazy with the brow. I feel like this is pretty bushy and big. Now that my brows are done, I'm still going to tweak the shadows and highlights, but I think I'm going to add a little bit of blush to the cheeks. And that's also going to help me see how things are going. And I'm just going to use the lightest color from the palette. I'm going to apply it pretty low for blush. It's right kind of smack in the middle of the cheek. She is quite rosy. They definitely put some blush on her. I'm gonna keep tweaking around the eyes. I'm gonna deepen a little bit everything. And then I'm also shading around kind of the eyebrow and connecting that with the bottom of the eye. I'm also going to take my Black Moon Cosmetics Orb of Light palette, and I think I'm going to mix the darkest brown with a tiny bit of the black because I just want to kind of create a new corner of the lips for me, kind of redefining where the line is. And then back with my Lunatic Cosmetics palette, I'm going to take this dark brown just so I can really define under the bottom lip and then really define this shadow too. My face is still too long. Oh, I'm gonna try darkening this contour here and then creating a kind of contour here. Definitely look less like me, so that's something. I think I'm gonna try to put on the wig and see how I feel about this. And then, oh wait, no, before I do that, I'm going to line my lash line real quick, and that'll help to change the shape of my eye too. So I'm going to go in with the Milk Makeup Gel Liner in the color CEO. It's their dark brown liner. And I'm just going to very, very thinly line my top lash line, but I want to change the shape of my eye. I really want to elongate my eyes, so I'm not going to line them all the way to the inside. I'm just starting from the center of my eye and bringing it out And you can see that changes the shape of my eye a bit. I'm going to use the smudger just to soften that up a little bit. The smudger's on the other end of the pencil. I'm also going to use my little pencil brush to help with that. Just going to take a clean Q-tip and just kind of blend out that outer edge. I don't want it to look like a flick. I don't want it to be a cat eye. I'm just blending that out. But it does help to change the shape of my eye a little bit, make it look a little bit more almond shaped. So in person I can see the illusion, but I don't think the camera's picking it up as well as I want it to. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the wig, and then with that, that'll reduce my forehead size, and I think that'll also help me see what I need to modify. So I'm gonna do that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have the wig on, I had to glue it down because this wig doesn't really fit me right, so I have to glue it all along the hairline so that my hairline doesn't show. I think the wig cap is a little too small for me. So because of that, it kind of gives me a little bit of a facelift because it's tugging at both sides. And now I'm seeing a few things that I definitely want to modify, but I don't think it's bad. It's not, as I said, I can't really do celebrity transformations, but I think this for a cosplay would be really cool to do this if you're doing a Daenerys cosplay, just making yourself look a little bit more like the actress. So I'm actually going to highlight these little eye bag thingies, which I forgot to do. That helps to accentuate them even more. And then I also want to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. And I honestly think I just have to make the upper lip even bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't know if I'm going to enlarge it too much, but I do want to make it a bit bigger. I'm also shading in inside of my upper lip because her upper lip is pretty flat. So I want to kind of get rid of any dimension in my lip. I think that actually helped a lot. Yeah, I think that helped a lot. Okay, that helped a lot. I just want to intensify certain highlights, and then I think I might be done. And then I just need to do mascara as well. Highlighting the cheekbones with a little bit of white. I really want them to stand out. I can like definitely see it now. I mean, I think this is like the best I can do. I'm gonna add a little bit of highlight to center of my lids. Just realized I'm filming this on Mother's Day, and Daenerys is the mother of dragons, so that's kind of appropriate, right? Just kind of intensifying all the little highlights, because I feel like I'm almost there. I'm going to take the dark brown from the Orb of Light palette and just really intensify this shadow right here. And then this right here as well. I'm going to put on some mascara. I might walk away for like 5 minutes so I can come back with fresh eyes and take one final look and see if I need to modify anything. For mascara, I'm going to use the Hourglass Caution Mascara. I'm going to use it just on the top lashes. She does not wear mascara on her bottom lashes. And I just want a light layer because my eyelashes are very long. I think they're probably longer than hers. So I just want something very light. I think I might actually go in with a little bit of a lighter pencil in my waterline just to make my eyes seem a little bit bigger. I'm going in with the Milk Gel Liner in the color BCC. And I'm just going to lightly take that on my waterline. Ah, shit. See? Careful not to do that. I lifted the makeup with my little pinky finger. I think this hair is throwing me off too. This is like a little too much hair. So I figured out why it wasn't translating as well on camera as it was in real life, and it's because of the camera angle. I'm looking down into a mirror, and so I see it differently than the way the camera was seeing me, and so I lowered the camera a bit, and I think that really helps with the illusion, and I'm pretty happy with it considering this is like my first celebrity transformation. I'm not mad. Like if I was wearing a full cosplay, this would be dope. I'm gonna go ahead and put on, I made a makeshift thing to mimic the outfit she's wearing. And I'm gonna grab a little accessory and I'll be right back. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I didn't actually do this makeup look to celebrate the last episode of Game of Thrones. I did this entire thing just so I could take a sip from this. I couldn't resist! So yeah, that's it. I actually had a lot of fun doing this. It was really hard, but I think I learned a lot. And I don't know, I'm happy with it for it being my first time. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope you liked this. Let me know what you thought down below and let me know your take on Game of Thrones. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you gonna watch tonight's episode? Let's keep the comments spoiler free for people who may not have the chance to watch the episode just yet. If you're gonna write a spoiler, then put a spoiler tag before it. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my patrons who support me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!